guys, Ape here of the PocketBot Collective. And today we're going to have a look at Hasbro's Legacy Core Class Iguanus. And I've been looking forward to this guy. Now, let's get the first things out of the way. What does he come with? Box, weapon, and transformation instructions inside the box. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Cool Legacy packaging. Like the artwork on the side. And on the other side. Just lift it up a bit. There's the two modes. And there is his alternate mode artwork. And that is it for the box. Also, he comes with this weapon. Bit of a weird looking weapon. Not sure what the thought behind that is. It's pretty cool looking. Has a 3mm peg on one side and a 5mm peg on the other side. Also has 5mm pegs there. Can combine with the weapon that Skywarp and Hot Rod come with. Together it makes a large sword, but it still looks like three mashed together bits. So I don't know what the real story or intent behind that is. But maybe we'll find out along the line. Maybe there'll be a cartoon. I don't know. Just to point out, weapon is blast effect compatible. So there you go. Now, for the main event. Iguanus himself. And he looks awesome. We'll have a look in detail at him in a minute. The reason I've been looking forward to this guy, I've never had the original Pretender Iguanus from Generation 1. But it's one of those characters that stood out to me because I read the comics when I was young. And he had a standalone, well, not a standalone, he appeared in an episode where he had almost like a Godzilla-like feature, climbing a building and everything. But yeah, ever since I saw him in there and the other Pretenders, I've been hooked on this guy. And I'm glad to see him in a tiny form. And I think Hasbro was smart to do it this way. Because he looks like his Pretender shell. But then transforms into his inner robot's alt mode. And I think that's a way better concept than what they did in the previous lines. Where, yes, with these little Prime Masters, the Pretender gimmick, so to say, is still there, but you can't really do much with it, because here the inner robot doesn't really transform, and the whole shell transforms into a weapon for a larger robot. But besides that, you can't do much with these shells except have them look pretty on display. So in that sense, I am happy that this Iguanus is here, and it's been rumored that we'll also get a Skullgrin down the line in Legacy, in Core Class. So I'm really looking forward to these guys, and I hope they continue this. Before we look at him in detail, let's do a quick few size comparisons. First of all, with our boy Runabout from Iron Factory, of course. About the same size. And here he is next to two other Pretenders by Hasbro. It's Generation 1 Beast Pretender Chainclaw, and it's Cyberverse Bludgeon. And I'll bring them back for alt mode comparison as well. So that's that for scale. Now let's have a good look at him, because I think it's definitely beast mode, so to say. Well, I guess Pretender mode where he shines. Very well articulated. probably the best articulated one from the whole core class line so far. Love the details on the head sculpt. The head is on a swivel? Yeah. Oh, no, maybe. I think there's a ball joint hidden in there, because he can do a little bit of up and down. Can do left to right. There you go. Nice sculpt work, nice paint work. Ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows, nothing at the wrist. Ball jointed hips, although they can't go full Van Damme, but plenty of range there. Can you go all the way back? Some stuff seems to get in the way, but I think if I force it a bit I could, but I'm not going to force it. Also ball jointed knee, which gets you just over 90, and ball joints at the ankle, which is for transformation, but of course that gives him a lot of range and posability. Not a lot of gaps. Has his iguana tail hanging there, which is fine. Some extra 5mm ports, also on top there. Decepticon logo. Wheels turn, by the way. But his backpack is nicely locked in place. Very nice. Oh, sorry, and because of transformation, he also has a waist swivel. What more could you need or want from this guy? I love him. He's awesome. He's a definite recommend. Alright, that being said, we still need to go into alt mode. So let us do that. And there you have it. This is his alt mode. Obviously not the best looking bike, but in G1 he had a Cybertronian bike mode, and this is very reminiscent of it. So I am happy with this. I won't be displaying him in this mode a lot. I don't think I will have many other bots ride him in this mode, but you could do that, of course. It's a good size for a Legend class robot to ride on. Of course, he still has all the details that he had in robot mode, but there's also some sculpt work on the, let's call it the frame. Yes, he has visible hand syndrome and visible feet syndrome, but it all kinda blends in. So that is pretty cool. And on top here, you could store the weapon, or turn it around and use it a bit like handlebars, I guess. It's whatever you like. Possibly even store it on the hand. Now, it sits lower than the wheel. That doesn't work. But there you go. That is his alt mode. Now, for some alt mode comparisons. Here he is again with Cyberverse Bludgeon and G1 Chainclaw. And I'm not sure if you're watching this and you're like, but what are pretenders then? I don't know about pretenders. I didn't grow up with G1. What is this concept? Well, what it was before is that you would have a robot that transformed into an alt mode, be it a vehicle or a beast, and said alt mode or robot would then store in a pretender shell. It would just split open. You could hide the robot in there, and that's why they were called pretenders. Now, that whole feature is lost on core class Iguanus, but he still pays a nice homage by having the alt mode Innerbot. The Innerbot alt mode and the pretender shell robot mode, so to say. So I'm quite happy with this. I think it's a great way for Hasbro to bring these characters back. Another quick comparison to an Iron Factory Legend class figure. Obviously, scale-wise, this makes no sense, because a bike shouldn't be way bigger than a car, but it's just for scale comparison. So, final thoughts. Get this guy if you have a chance. Yeah, it's a fun figure. It's a well done figure. Love the balance between modern day engineering, price point, nostalgia. All of it is there. He hits all the marks, at least in my book. So yes, and to Hasbro, bring them on, keep them coming. I love this way of doing the pretender characters. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have him already or intend to pick him up. And what you think about the concept that Hasbro has put these guys in. I'm gonna stop waffling. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you next time. Ape out!